Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Basilica Broadcasting News from the Balzi, and now we will begin shortly.
Good day, fellow Balzians, from Vietnam, from the Philippines, from Iraq, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from Japan and Thailand and Laos. Welcome to the third partial tally of the 2024 election here in the Republic of Balzi. So I will become your moderator, and for this highly anticipated event. It is now 9:50 p.m. and tonight they will reveal an additional 30% of the votes cast, bringing us to a total of 90% counted. This leaves only 10% to be tallied in the final round, which will be held tomorrow morning in Philippine Standard Time or PST. As we move closer to the official declaration of our new Vice President and Senators, let us take a moment to honor our traditions. Please rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Balzi along with the Commonwealth anthems of Ram and Said, known as Marcha Basilica. Thank you. Before we proceed with the tally result, let's review the MUD system or MUD system. As I reminded everyone about the MUD system or the MUD system, I would like you to remind you about it once again. My bad. So, the mud system helps us easily track each candidate's standing relative to the previous tallies. So, M stands for maintain, meaning the candidate has held their position from the last tally. U stands for up, indicating an increase in the ranking or votes. D stands for down, showing a decrease in position. So additionally, each candidate's total votes are displayed in a numeral format like 13 plus 4. Here, 13 is the cumulative vote count from the first and second partial tallies, while the plus 4 signifies the additional votes gained in this third tally, making a total of 17 votes. With this system and format in mind, we'll compare tonight's result with both of the first and second partial tallies to observe the shifts as we approach the final stages of this election. Now, let's ring the bell of Basiera to signal the official commencement of the third partial tally and the vice presidential election. What I meant, apologies, my bad. What I meant, vice presidential polls. Tonight, we will begin with the vice presidential race. Since the first partial tally, Mr. Felix Tomado of the Nationalist Party held a steady lead, with Mr. J. Tolibas of the Liberal Party trailing closely. However, tonight's result shows a significant shift. The first place, Mr. J. Tolibas, the Liberal Party, with 30 votes. Tolibas has surged ahead after gaining in an additional 6 votes this round. This increase suggests that more Liberal Party supporters may have participated in this later phase of voting. U up. For the second phase, Mr. Felix Tomado from the Nationalist Party now at 10 votes with only 2 new votes added in this tally. Tomado has been overtaken by Tolibas. Tomado's initial lead has been narrowed, illustrating the dynamic nature of this race. For the third place, Mr. Abu Al-Hassan from the Abbas Party. Al-Hassan has showed 4 votes with only 1 additional vote in this round and continues to be in a third place. So his position remains steady to hit race behind the leading candidates. This shows that Mr. Abu Al-Hassan is the opposing icon to the two-party system that exists in Balzi. Now, with the shift, Tolibas needs the vice president. Oh my God. With this shift, Tolibas now leads the vice presidential race, marking a notable change from the earlier tallies where Tomado held the lead. Now, let us move on the Senate race where 18 candidates are competing for the top 10 seats with only 10% of the vote remaining. The competition has intensified. Tonight's result will reflect both steady performances and key shifts. Now, let us ring the bell again, signaling the start of the senatorial tally result announcement. Now, now our top 10 candidates for today's evening. First place, again, Mr. Manabo from the Liberal Party with 18 total votes after gaining 4 additional votes. Manabo holds his lead, a former emperor of Zhao with a unique background and endorsement from SM Malls. Manabo's position reflects a strong support for maintain. For the second place, Mr. Chong coming from the Liberal Party also. The Prime Minister of Balzi, Chong, added 6 new votes, reaching a total of 18 votes. His continued rise underscores the increasing support for his presidency. For his candidacy, through he remains second overall. Up. From the third place, Mr. Gonzalo from the Liberal Party with 17 votes, including 4 additional votes this round. Gonzalo, a former governor of Rusca, maintained his position in the top 3, showing steady backing. So, letter M for maintain. For the fourth place, Mr. Fernandez coming from the Nationalist Party. Fernandez stands at 16 votes after gaining 4 new votes, marking a steady performance that strengthens his standing. Letter D, down. For the fifth place, Mangulabnan coming from the Nationalist Party. Mangulabnan, the governor of Zambueno, holds 13 votes, including 5 new votes, so he drops 1 spot in the ranking. D, drop. For the sixth place, Mr. Mi, independent. This is a very surprising one. Mi addition of 7 votes, the most highest one in all. Yes, indeed, he is the most highest one ever received in this third tally. He is the most one who received the most of the votes in this third tally. Mr. Mi, the second Vietnamese the second non-Filipino citizens of Balzi to become to join one of the most highest position in the Republic, which is considered as running for the senatorial slots. So, mean addition of 7 votes, bringing him to 15 marks, bringing him to a 15 votes, marks a significant increase, making him the highest ranked independent candidate from the whole history of Balzi. From the 7th place, Mr. Carcelar coming from the Liberal Party. Carcelar has 15 votes with 4 new ones added, showing consistency for the Liberal Party candidate from Rusca. From the 8th place, Malari gained 6 votes, reaching a total of 14, reflecting increased support among Liberal Party supporters. For the 9th place, Montano from the Liberal Party with a gain of 5 new votes for a total of 13. Montano remains in the top 10, maintain his position comfortably. So in the last tally, Mr. Montano has been dropped out, but yet once again he comes back again in the top 10. From the top 10, Mr. Niebres from the Social Democrat Party. Niebres with 13 total votes after gaining 3 votes out of the top 10 as the leading Social Democrat candidate. So his fellow Social Democrat candidate has earlier, all of them entered in the Senate slot. But sadly, at this time, majority of them has been dropped out in the polls. So Mr. Niebres, which is on the top 10 and near ending one to be also drop out, is also saving himself, like he is clinging to the Senate to become become part of the Senate slot, to have a slot in the Senate. So let's talk about the candidates outside the top 10. For the 11th place, we have Anyanya, Social Democrat Party. Anyanya gained 4 new votes for a total of 12 but remains just outside of the top. So for the 12, we have Reyes from the Nationalist Party. Reyes also has 12 votes after adding 4, maintaining his position. So since earlier, since the second tally, Mr. Reyes has been being on the same position. So yeah, maintained. Now for the 31, Mr. Dakaya brought comment from the National People's Party. Dakayan holds 11 votes after gaining 4 votes, facing stiff competition. So earlier, Mr. Dakayan has been entered in the Senate slot. He has never been, but he is now on the 13th one. He kept increasing his position in the Senate. Now for the 41, Mr. Eusebio, so here Democrat Party also, and one of the former people who have once a slot in the Senate, which is the earlier one, which is the second tally. He once had a slot in the Senate, but now it's gone. He is now on the 14th place. With a total of 11 votes after gaining 3 votes, remain close but just short of the top spot. 15, Mr. Lizaran, coming from the oh my God, I'm apologies everyone, but Lizaran is a progressive party with 11 total votes and only 2 additional votes. Lizaran momentums appear to have slowed. So earlier, we also acknowledged that Mr. Lizaran was also once part of the Senate slot, having the first one to represent Lizaranese and Progressive Party on the Senate. But now he is also gone from the slot. He is now ranked as top 15 place, which is a very dangerous slot place to ever encounter, since tomorrow is the only 10% for tomorrow's tally, which is a very dangerous one, and it is a signal that it is near. So for the 16th place, Mr. Mohammed from the Abbas Party. Once again, Mohammed never entered into the Senate slot. Mohammed's 9 votes with an additional 2 reflected limited gains. So he's been limiting. He had limited gains for this election, no? Considering that he is also not always active as people appears to be. So that may be the reason. So for the 70th place, we have Astilas coming from the People's Party. Astilasa added 1 vote for a total of 8, unlikely to improve further. So it is a signal once again that you are now in a very dangerous procedure, and on those people with the lower one are signaling that it is a signal, it is a symbol that you won't be able to be part of the slot anymore, because tomorrow is only just 10%. It's alright if there's another 30% for you to have a chance, but it's only 10%. It's very impossible. It's very impossible, my dear. Now, for 18th place, once again, is Mr. Ponce from the Lizaranese Progressive Party with a total of 8 votes and only 1 new vote. Ponce's support appears to be declining. So this means that Mr. Ponce has never been improved since the first tally. He has always been on the bottom, and the last one, it seems that he is missing a lot of support. Now, as we examine tonight's standings, we observe several trends. Liberal Party candidates continue to dominate the top 10. It dominates even more if the first tally dominates half. Now, on the second tally, it kicks a lot of liberals from the Senate. Now, but this time, this is a very scary one. The Liberal Party has gained. The Liberal Party has gained a lot of votes, a lot of slots in the Senate, dominating the whole system. They can manipulate it easily. With just a single planning, they can manipulate the whole system because they already hold the 50% of the Senate, 60%, only close to 80% to manipulate it all. So very concerning too. So Liberal Party secures 7 out of 10 leading spot. So the Social Democrat Party has maintained its presence with steady performances from Niebres. Now the People's Party was also there. So anyways, referencing the chart, the yellow circle represent the Liberal Party's dominance, while the blue circles for the Social Democrats and the red for the Nationalist Party show moderate growth. So do not be mistaken to compare Nationalist Party with the Communism Party. No, that just no. So means green circle a pinkish circle is for me as an independent candidate, stand us out as an only highest ranking independent politician in Balzi, coming from Vietnam and the only non-Filipino there in the Senate. So I'm expecting that the Senate Deputy Senator will only speak in English. So as we conclude tonight's third partial tally, we look forward to the final and the fourth partial tally tomorrow morning. The remaining 10% of votes will be counted, deciding the official winners. Following the declaration, the Vice President-elect will address the public, and President Victor will meet with the Vice President-elect and new senators to discuss the Balzian future. Thank you for joining us this evening. Stay tuned and may we continue to uphold democracy and the will of the Balzian people. Padayon and good night.